It's a savings and loan in cyberspace that's available to 7.8 billion people where no politician can steal your money, right? That's a simple idea. Everybody on earth needs it. Simple. There's another idea though, which is this is the first truly engineered monetary network in the history of the world. And by that, I mean, it's a closed, thermodynamically sound monetary system. If you put $100 million in the system, it's like charging a battery. It has no power loss. You can store it for 100 years. It'll still be there. Every other monetary system has a power loss in it. It bleeds energy. If you put your money into, if you put your money into electricity and store it in a battery, you lose 2% a month. You have 24% inflation rate a year. If you put your money, that's the problem. You can't move electricity around without losing 6% of it over the course of a few hundred miles. So what if I wanted to store all my monetary energy and I didn't want to lose it every month or every year or every decade? Well, I design a closed system, 21 million gold coins. None come in, none go out. All I can do is heat it up or cool it down. That's the definition of a thermodynamic closed system. Bitcoin is the first example of that system. What that means is that you can collect all of the monetary energy in the world, store it in this battery, hold it for 100 years, channel it through time and space with no energy loss. It's an engineering breakthrough. It's like an aqueduct. It's like an electrical power system or grid. So if I said to you, I thought I'd build a city, but I thought I'd plug it into an aqueduct, you wouldn't say I'm crazy. You would say that's a good idea so that all your people don't die due to lack of water and sanitation, right? No one's ever figured it out. Bitcoin is Facebook for money. If Facebook's worth $1 trillion because it stores the social energy of 1 billion people or 2 billion, Bitcoin has got to be worth 100x that much because it's storing the money of 1 billion people. When Rupert Murdoch shows up to Facebook, he doesn't bring 1 billion friends. When Rupert Murdoch shows up to Bitcoin, he's going to drop $1 billion on the network immediately, because what do you do with a monetary network other than put all your money on it? It's a pretty big idea. It's not a speculative, uncorrelated asset. It's the first monetary network in the history of the world that we've figured out how to make work. I posted this on Twitter. I pointed out Square's moved. Because Square moved, PayPal's got to adopt it. Otherwise, everybody shifts their accounts to Square. I mean, who wants a savings account that yields nothing when they could get 100%? So Square pushed PayPal. Square and PayPal are going to force Apple to move. And if Apple were to build a crypto wallet into the secure element of the iPhone and really support it with integration to Apple Pay in a nice native fashion, and if they were to then adopt Bitcoin on their balance sheet and start to buy some Bitcoin, they would generate $100 billion in shareholder value in 12 months. I mean, you want to make $100 billion? It's a very simple thing. Build it into 1 billion phones and then buy a few billion worth of it. What do you think happens to Bitcoin? If Apple buys $10 billion of Bitcoin, what do you think happens to the Bitcoin price? I mean, there's so many ways to make money, right? Because if Apple did it, everybody else would have to do it too, right? And 1 billion people will be using the iPhone. If I use my iPhone as my hardware wallet, if it's the go-to hardware wallet for moving Bitcoin around, then you're going to pry it from my cold dead fingers. I mean, Square's done a great job. They basically plug Bitcoin into Square, and PayPal's plugged Bitcoin into PayPal. Once you've made that commitment, they're going to pry it from your fingers, white knuckle. No one's going to let go, because who wants to give up their money? It's one thing, think about how loyal we are to Apple because we got our photos on it, or our messages on it, or our movies on it. What are you more loyal to, all the money you own or your photos? The next mobile wave is money, all of it, hundreds of trillions of dollars of it. Imagine what happens if all that money leaps off of stocks, bonds, real estate, gold, silver, and derivatives. And it flows into people's mobile devices where they can control it. And imagine if you didn't have to worry about juggling it and guessing whose stock is going up and whose stock is going down, right? I mean, the beauty of Bitcoin is it's simple. It's like you put your money in the bank and no one steals it. That's it. Okay, well, how good is that idea? Well, the central bank is going to steal 15% of it if you hold it in dollars. And if you and by the way, that's the best case, because if you have money in Venezuelan currency, Lebanese currency, Nigerian currency, Argentinian currency, you're losing more, right? You're going to lose 90% of all your money if you have another currency. You're just going to lose half your money in the next 36 months if you have it in the US or Europe. So here's my big idea for you. What if someone was not going to steal your money? And what if we built that into big tech? So it's right here. That's the excitement. What did MicroStrategy do? Well, first we bought some, and then we offered to buy out all of our shareholders that didn't like the idea. So then we bought out some of them, and we took the excess in a tender offer, and then we bought some more, and then it went up, and then we made like $300 million on it. So then it almost doubled, and then we bought some more. And then now we have like 800 million or 850 million, something like that worth of it. And then we went to the marketplace. So we raised a convertible debt offering last week. We raised $650 million to buy some more. We wanted to borrow in a currency which is debasing in value and invest in something which is appreciating in value. Because isn't that what you're supposed to do in business?